again. This is Atheism in Minutes, Show 2. And once again, I have as my guest, Bill Flavell. And how the devil are you, Bill?
I'm great, John. Thank you very much.
Good. In our last show, Bill, we said that atheism means being without a belief in a god or gods. Now, assuming by God we mean creator deity, where does the idea of a creator deity come from?
Well, the idea of a creator deity is an assumption, or to put it another way, it's a guess. We know that for thousands of years, different societies have answered the question, where did the universe come from, by assuming the God they happen to believe in did it. So, for example, when people stopped believing in the Norse gods, they stopped believing that Odin made the world from the body parts of the ice giant. Today, a lot of Jews, Christians, Muslims, and Hindus make the same mistake. They assume that the gods they were raised to believe in created everything. I guess if they'd been born 1,000 years ago in a Nordic country, they would have believed that Odin and his brothers did it.
They may very well have done. Is there, however, any way to work out the likelihood that a god did create everything?
Yes, there is a way to approach this. Humans don't just say that gods made the universe, they say their gods do loads of things that they can't explain. For example, they believe their gods cause rain, tides, thunder, lightning, earthquakes, diseases, volcanoes, even the movement of the sun, babies, and likely thousands of other things that were hard to explain. Today, almost all of those mysteries have been explained. But how many of those mysteries were explained by God? Zero, not one of them. God explanations have a terrible track record. I don't know how many mysteries have been explained, but let's just assume it's 1,000. If just one mystery had been explained by a God, we could say the chance of a God explanation being correct is 1,000 to 1. Not very likely. But in fact, it's 1,000 to 0. In other words, based on our experience, the chances of a God explanation being true are infinitely small. You can't get any less likely than that.
You can't indeed. So why do people think their God made everything then?
Quite honestly, for most believers, it's not a question of arriving at that idea that God made everything. It's a matter of being indoctrinated into it. So they're given a belief as kids and they never question it.
So is there any rational way that you could perhaps conclude that a God created everything?
You should only really consider the possibility that your God created everything if you can first show that your God exists. The only way to conclude your God created the universe is to use bad logic. You have to assume your God exists and then assume your God made the universe. There's no evidence for any of these things. If you then use those ideas as premises in your arguments, you can conclude that your God made the universe. But assuming what you're trying to prove is a circular argument. It's not valid. Clearly, if your God doesn't exist, it can't create anything.
That makes sense. Thanks, Bill. See you again.
See you again.